when it comes time to picking out your music, if you're going to host your demo reel on YouTube, you can actually use YouTube's audio library. To access that, we need to go to YouTube Studio. So we're just going to hit our profile, going to switch over to YouTube Studio, and then hiding over here on the left, towards the bottom, you will see audio library. From here, there's a ton of different options you can pick that are pretty decent. If you're looking for a specific genre, you can use it here in the search bar. A note when picking your music is you want something like ambient music, nothing that's too heavy metal or rock or anything that's going to be jarring for the listener. For the most part, what you're going to want is something that, like this song, for instance, is actually a pretty good choice. Something that kind of has a decent beat and that can run in the background. There are some other options for picking music that are not for free. And again, the most important thing when you're downloading music and you're going to use it in videos, making sure that you have the license for it and you're using the license appropriately. For instance, here we have a YouTube audio library license. You're free to use this audio track in any of your videos, including videos that you monetize. No attribution is required, and you can view details. There are other paid services, for instance, Soundstripe or Artlist, which have different types of licenses. This one I believe is $12 a month. This one I think is $16 a month. You can download your music. There's going to be a little bit better selection sometimes. So it really depends on your budget. But the most important thing is you want to make sure that you have a good license and making sure that if the license you're using for the music requires attribution to put it inside your demo reel. The last thing I want to talk about when we're talking about music is when we get inside of Premiere, it's most likely, more often than not, going to be a little too loud. So let's go ahead and import our music. File, import. We're going to navigate to where we have our folder structure with all of our assets, and we're going to go ahead and import it. When we import it, that's going to end up here in our project, and we can actually go ahead and pull this into our sequence. The user interface, we have plus and minus to zoom in, command or option, or command and option is going to make it larger. You can also open it up here. The important thing is here is if this is closed, again, what we want to do is make sure that we open it up. So if you can't see the numbers, we just want to open that up a little bit. And there's a couple ways to adjust the volume of your music. So if we want to go to when it's the loudest, ideally what we don't want is we don't want our music to breach -6. If it's over -6, it's just going to be too loud. So there's a couple ways to fix that. If we open this panel up by just pulling it down, we actually have our volume bar here. You can key volume, etc. If you're familiar with GarageBand and so on and so forth, very similar in principle, but we can actually just grab this and bring it down, bring it down -6, kind of go to it, just making sure that it's not overblowing our music, etc. Another option that we can do is go into our effects panel. This is our keyframe. So if we wanted to add a keyframe, we can do that here. We can just hit this little, by default, the key is automatically on, but we can add a key here. We could go over here, add a new one, drag it down, put in the numbers, etc. But again, the principle is we just want to make sure that it's not too loud. If you're using animation and you have something with a voice, you can also use Essential Sounds menu. And under Essential Sound, you can actually set up one to be music, and you could bring in your dialogue, set that to dialogue. And what's great is under ducking, we can actually turn on auto ducking here, generate keyframes, and it'll do the rest for you. Feel free to Google that, more information on that. If you're bringing in like dialogue or something like that, you can actually have it duck for you, pull the music down a little bit. So when your character or whatever is speaking, it's not getting blown out. But that's basically the end of getting the music in there. The next step, of course, is going to be getting our title and then assembling our